So next is the overlapping demand theory, as proposed by a Swedish Stefan Linder in 1961. It's also known as the demand similarity or preference similarity theory. To some extent, it explains the intra-industry trade between developed countries in the reality. That can be explained by factor can't explain by factor endowment theory. The rationale behind this one, it is based on the fact that the intra-industry trade takes place between products with different levels under our study. That is, the products treated belong to the same group of various types, but they may be from a same class. The theory holds that the similar demand preference of different participants in the international trade are possible cause for the occurrence of intra-industry trade. So the general idea is that the trade can be seen as the international trade can be seen as an extension of countries' domestic trade across national borders, because a country's manufacturers always first mean to meet the demand of domestic market, which they always first know the domestic market, and innovate, produce according to the market demand. Only the products of domestic producers want to meet the domestic demand can be exported, but those products solely aimed at meeting the foreign market demand are mostly invested by foreign consumers in manufacturing field. For example, the mailing produced by the foreign capital, the uranium, the oil, the mineral produced in Africa is mainly used for fuel in nuclear power plants in some countries, or for nuclear testing, so that the uranium development is mostly financed by the foreign consumers. If two countries have similar preference and demand structure are greater, the greater the overlap of demand structures, the greater the volume of trade between the two countries. Given the surplus of goods produced and the ability to export, when per capita income level of country increases, the consumer's demand for manufactured goods, for example, the luxury goods, will increase by the Engel's law. And then the production of manufactured goods in the country will increase. The production volume exceeds the demand and the surplus will be exported. Only the country with similar income level will have more demand for such goods. Therefore, the target market country for export are countries with similar income level and similar demand, thus increasing the trade volume between the two countries. The theory studies the trade between the two countries from the perspective of demand structure. And therefore, the level of income, focusing on explaining the cause of international trade from consumer behavior, and holds the overlap demand is an independent condition for the international trade. The closer the two countries' demand structure, the greater the overlap and the closer the trade relationship. As the per capita income level of two countries continue to converge, The scope of the overlapped demand of two countries expands accordingly, and the commodity trading relationship between two countries become closer. The higher the level of closeness of the national income of the two countries, the broader the scope of overlapped demand, and therefore overlapped demand commodity become the tradable goods between two countries. If each country's national income enhances, the new repetitively demanded goods emerge, and the trade between two countries broadens. The new commodities come up in the trade frequently. Thus, a country with similar level of income are likely to have closer trade relationships with each other. On the other hand, if income levels differ widely, there may be little overlap between two countries in the number of goods they need and little closeness in the trades. It applies to the intra-industry trade between the developed countries. That is the horizontal trade in the manufacturing industry. The further analysis of the determinants of the comparative advantage is useful supplement to other trade theories. The conclusion of trade that the international trade in the manufactured goods is more frequent among the countries with similar per capita income level than among the countries with a larger difference in per capita income level. That is consistent with the basic point of commodity life cycle theory and the fact that intra-industry trade between the developed countries developed rapidly after the World War II. This theory